let us move to the very next important or interesting segment or the topic, which is Mahindra launching their new EV.
Yes.
Finally done with technical topics. Back to normal topics.
Right.
Yeah. So you would have seen Twitter, Instagram, newspapers, everywhere. Mahindra's new EV is getting flooded.
Correct.
And
And I think a week before, a month before, Maruti had also launched
Vitara
yes,
coming in,
yes.
and then Tata has already been, in the news for their EVs.
Leader in the segment, yeah.
So whenever there is, in recent times, we are seeing so many brands are launching EVs simultaneously. People are actually being bullish on the EV sector. They are investing a lot of money in these automobile stocks. So do you think that is the actual right thing to do?
So let's start with the EV king in India, which is Tata Motors. They hold a 72% share in the EV market in India as of October 2024.
So whatever 100 EVs are being sold, 72 are sold by Tata alone.
Tata in the passenger vehicle segment.
Got it.
Not sure about the commercial vehicles there. And if you're looking at the revenue of Tata Motors, and people equate this that they're the market leader in EVs and EV is going to be the future, so we are going to invest in Tata Motors. Right? Even small cases do that for some matter.
Yeah.
But if you actually look into the revenue contribution of EV into Tata's balance sheet or their profit and loss reports, it says that EVs contribute only 1%, 1 to 2%, which is insignificant.
Yeah.
So Tata, if you look at their revenue, it's crazy how much bigger they are than Maruti, even Hyundai India, even Mahindra for that matter. They're so much bigger. And most of their revenue is contributed by
Jaguar Land Rover.
Exactly. So most of their revenue is contributed by Jaguar Land Rover.
Yeah.
So
And now they are also moving into the EV space.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
so they're moving into that space. But I wanted to point out for a fact that retailers are they're just looking at Warren Buffett's investing style or taking famous quotes from famous investors saying, know what you're investing into. And they're saying, okay, Tata EV everywhere. And they went ahead, bought Tata Motors stock when it's not even relevant. So you have to be careful of that. Tata Motors went up because JLR has been performing amazingly. Just take the case of Defender. It became a huge worldwide phenomenon where everyone started going crazy over the new Defender. Not now, 2-3 years ago.
While you mentioned that, I just noticed that Jaguar is also becoming a global phenomenon for all the wrong reasons, right?
Getting roasted.
Yeah, getting roasted actually. So their recent rebranding, so they came up with a new logo, and very interestingly, they had this 1 minute of launch video which had 0 cars in it. Right? It was all like ladies in very poppy colors and just walking, and a very different Jaguar logo coming up. So again, being in the news for, I don't know. I would
And
say
even
wrong
in the
reasons.
meme world, Jaguar logo and nothing logo is getting compared with.
No, that is because, very interesting. So Jaguar, when they launched it, their tagline was, and even in their Twitter, their description was, and their tagline everywhere was, copy nothing.
Copy nothing. Yeah, exactly.
And what did nothing do? Nothing changed their logo temporarily to the same typeface of Jaguar in the way, and they put their description as copy Jaguar. Copy nothing, copy Jaguar. So very, very interesting.
Think about
wordplay.
the marketing genius there, where
Absolutely.
nothing is chipping in and taking all the credit, or
Exactly, that's genius. No, I mean, definitely. So the guy sitting there, capitalizing on the opportunity is absolutely.
But again, when we
Yeah.
Let's come back to the point. I
So
understand.
coming back
Ajay
to the
being,
point.
What are you even talking? Let's come back to the point.
Coming back to the point, I feel Jaguar was already very insignificant to the brand. They were not making any sales. In fact, earlier this year, they said that they will not even be producing a single new car till the end of this year because they have so much inventory.
But this is where I'd like to come in, right? Because even now, his original question was, hey, now that EV is booming, new cars are being launched by multiple companies. EV cars are coming in, and so should people be investing into EV car stocks or EV stocks for that matter? And again, see where your conversation going. You're very much focused on Tata Motors, which a lot of people are buying. I know, and that is the problem, is what I'm saying. So people, when they think about EV, electric vehicles, they're thinking only about Tata Motors because, again, Ajay said the right reason. Warren Buffett has said, if you know, invest in what you know. Invest in what you see, what you understand, what you use probably. So Tata Motors is what people think about. And I respect Warren Buffett, but at the same time, we have to be intelligent, right? So when I strongly believe EVs are the future, few years down the lane, we'll see EVs everywhere, right? There'll be electric vehicles everywhere. The kind of IC engines we see wouldn't be there anymore. Now, given that electric vehicles are the future, is it only EV manufacturers who are going to benefit?
No, I think the infrastructure also should
Exactly.
support.
We should look at the entire infrastructure. I was looking into this data and it's very interesting, right? So, absolutely, your EV manufacturers like Maruti, Mahindra and Mahindra, Tata Motors, Ola Electric, Ather,
MG coming in.
yeah, and public companies like your Hero, Bajaj, everyone
Yeah.
should be invested in. Absolutely.
Yes.
But there is a larger game being played in the ecosystem or the infrastructure, like he was rightly mentioning, right? So you have your battery and EV charging infrastructure, you have your Exide, Amraja batteries, Tata Power for that matter.
Yeah.
Great potential there. But what is even more interesting is EV spare parts. So there is a company called Sundaram Fasteners. They are developing parts for EVs, not just India, they're even exporting to Tesla.
Oh.
Right? Tesla is a customer for Sundaram Fasteners.
Interesting.
You have Endurance Technologies, you have Sona Comstar, you have Motherson. So these are again very interesting companies which are getting benefited from the EV boom in India. Then you have EV IT companies like KPIT Technologies who are again developing software for the EV boom which is happening. So my point being, when the EV booming is happening, the eventuality is very clear that the future is going to be EV, electric vehicles everywhere around you. The narrative should change. Narrative should change from EV manufacturing companies to the ecosystem stocks, because I believe a lot of money is to be made there.
I
So-
still stand my ground because I still believe if you're looking at the revenue today for any of these companies, even Sundaram Fasteners for that matter, I'm just giving my hunch here. I believe that portion of their sales will not be a majority. Maybe since they're exporting, Tesla might be their major customer. I might be wrong here. But for Tata Power, for say any of the other companies, the revenue that they're making from EVs today is going to be insignificant compared to their total revenue and profit numbers. So when you're investing into a company, again, even if it's ancillary or auto sector stocks, you still fall into that trap. You're buying the story, but then the story is not what the company is actually doing and selling right now.
No, this is where I'll have to come in and say that, remind you that a company's valuation is based on discounted cash flow.
Future
And this
multiples.
Future, yes.
Yeah.
So
Future multiples.
discounted cash flow accounts for what the company could be in the future. So if it is a small portion now, what you're buying into is the story. What you're buying into the potential that it will grow into. And EV is something that the world is only moving towards that. And if these companies are first movers and best movers here, and if it is a high certainty that these companies could be the eventual leaders here, isn't this the best place to get in?
I feel it is entirely getting commoditized. So brands will remain. So brands like Maruti Suzuki, who I think will be the real winner of this race because they know what the Indian customers want.
I
And
understand
they
that.
will
So my-
eventually get parts from all of these different players. There will be hundreds of different suppliers. They'll get the parts and then it's just another car.
So my point being, so if I am to invest in anything, say this is a theme, right? EV as a theme, and I have to invest my money into EV as a theme. So my question is, and if I have to invest say 1 lakh rupees, will I invest my 1 lakh rupees only into Maruti, Bajaj, M&M or sorts? Or will I also include a battery player, ancillary player, IT player also, so that my portfolio has a better chance of winning?
Perfectly agree.
Yes, that is
But
all my point.
my point again is that only when you're buying into any of these stocks, understand that you're buying it mostly into the story. I know the story has a value.
Story
it
has started playing out, and I
and it
don't
has
have
a
real
value.
numbers here. These companies are investing heavily into
Future
getting
growth.
better,
Yeah. So-
and focused only on the EV.
So
story,
I
right?
understand now here that Sharique's argument is saying that you should just not focus on one segment where Maruti or Tata or someone who's collecting all the raw materials and building a product. But there could be some underdogs who are actually building the major components for this, and those companies can also benefit. And there could also be some infrastructure, some chip company that is making chips. All of these could benefit. So the larger question is, if somebody is bullish on green energy and they want to create a portfolio of these stocks, where there could be automobile stocks, there could be infrastructure stocks, there could be spare part, whatever. So
Absolutely.
if I want to, or our viewers want to invest in green energy stocks or that basket, where should they invest? How much should they invest? What is the potential?
I mean, this is more like asking for advice, exact stock tip sort of a thing, which we normally don't do here. But again, so we did throw around multiple stock names here, and I believe these are real good companies which could benefit from the EV boom which is happening.
Not in the green energy. I think that was a mistake.
Correct.
You meant EV
EV
stocks,
stocks.
universe.
Correct.
So we can look into mutual funds or some other basket of stocks which are looking into this sector, and we can invest there.
Again, my larger point being, so if you are to create a portfolio of stocks, even within that create segments of EV manufacturers, EV, like, I don't know, ecosystem enablers and stuff like that. So that's the point. Yeah.